So we are here with the Super Studios USA, and we are going to talk about their endeavors in the blockchain and what they are doing down in Texas and how they're going to come through. So you want to start off by telling us what you guys are doing and how things are going?
So, Super Studios is a big dream. It's a dream of what we wish we had as students to learn film production, television production, content production, and it's also something we wish we had today as professionals. And so combined is a school and professional place with mixed use, so you can live, work, and shoot. And perhaps that's a first off, live, work, shoot, where you can have an entertainment community all around one location, 75 acres, that has all the elements and all the places we creators want to have. The right restaurant, coffee shop, you can have breakfast at 3 in the morning, you can have access to special equipment, technical equipment at any time. You can meet like-minded individuals in different places at different times with no restriction. It is basically the way the business is. The business is 24/7. So that's what Super Studios is a combination of studio, tech, and living. With retail.
It will print money.
And how is that? How does that work? Elaborate on print money, because that sounds funny.
It will make money by, we'll have lots of workers, lots of students in one place spending money every day.
So if I understand, you'll have like YouTube influencers that'll come in and buy studio time so they can do their content. You'll have other directors coming in, buying studio time, doing filming. Your studios will be dynamic to where you can set them up with any type of scenes, green screen, stuff like that.
Exactly, because all of it is what is today the business. The business includes physical production, digital production, and digital production may be added in post, it may be added live, or it may be projected as you go. So you're talking about physical sets with extensions that are digital, whether they're LED projections or replaced artificially. So artificial intelligence just turns your background into anything you want it to be, and it can be seen live, or it can be generated or changed and modified in post. So it's basically all of it in one place, and it's scalable, whether it's a small production or it's a big show. Influencers now are booking sound stages that have sets pre-built in Hollywood because they have run out of ideas and uses of their homes. And so now they have enough money, or they generated enough money to be able to rent the police station, the nurse station, the courtroom, right? And these sets exist. And it's easier to do basically an interaction of a performance in a real physical set. Now, if that set explodes or it rains or you have to change anything in it digitally, the studio has all of the digital components included, whether it's live or post-production. So it's basically all of the above, right? From professionals, big movies, shows, to influencers who are becoming the new professionals, to games and live shows.
Okay. So as these individuals are in there using your equipment and stuff like that, you'll have classes for training for younger folks?
Correct, because the trade school, which is the best way to get in the business as a young person, and what I wish I had was as a production assistant to a real production. If when I'm going there, for example, I like camera, I'm a camera guy, and I go into the production assistant to the camera department, I'm going to end up working in 6 months to a year as a production assistant to the camera department of a real show, and I'm going to be learning from those guys firsthand, and I'm going to get paid. At the same time, the trade school will allow you to create your shows, and now vertical shows are becoming very popular. I did one of those with students earlier this year, and we did it's a low budget production, and they generated 62 million views within 4 months. So these things are getting also the numbers that are competitive with Netflix numbers. and new of those companies are popping up. What happens is, because the production is relatively simple and not very sophisticated, it's kind of like a new way of soap operas, right? Relationship, mayhem type of, you marry me, you marry the wrong guy, you did not inherit the house, that kind of stuff. So usually it takes place in a few locations and is shot in a short amount of time. The students can do that work. So if I was a student now and I had the opportunity to learn my craft camera, and I get a chance to actually shoot as practice one of those short films, now we're creating content generated by the students, which are training for the bigger shows, best of all worlds. So we have integrated that idea, the new vertical shows, into the training, so that the students can learn to move up the ladder or continue, because that business is going to grow.
That sounds great.
And you learn absolutely everything. So in any of those productions, you're doing camera, lighting, props, makeup, hair, acting, rehearsing, all that stuff, right? So if your budget is bigger, you might have bigger sets and bigger name actors. You're still filming, you're still doing all the same things. Yeah, there might be 2 people in the camera department instead of 5. There might be 4 in grip and lighting instead of 12. Art department might be 2 people instead of 25. But the jobs are the same jobs. The considerations are the same. The training and discipline is the same. And that's how you scale. And until you do it, and you do it professionally, you film, then you have to edit it, and you see your mistakes, and then you have to go back and film again, edit, is the only way to really learn the craft. And every student, they know what they want to be. Like I wanted to be camera as a teenager, right? If I had the path, I would have gone straight to it. So you can go from high school into that training while you continue going to your, to earn your bachelor's degree elsewhere. So in tandem with the schools, we would be doing this.
Yeah, our students might even make money from the productions that they work on, unlike every other school that's out there. And that's because if we do vertical stuff, if they do that as one of their senior projects or something like that, and seniors after 1 year or after 1 or 2 foundational classes, then it could be a very lucrative thing for them, which I'm very focused on that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's interesting to hear. We've talked a lot about integrating the blockchain technology. We built your Super Studios chain for you. We're doing your pre-mined coin, and we're going to mint a founder's token. This brings up another point. You could have like an NFT that's associated with those trainees, and that follows them throughout their career, and they can earn royalties or whatnot that way also, right? And things like that. We're going to build in utility for tokens or NFTs that we help you create on your Super Studios blockchain. And tell us about how some of those utilities will play out.
Well, we'll have different levels of access, different levels of what someone who holds NFTs or a certain amount of NFTs can do. So they may want to come to the parties. You have lots of parties, and some of them are private, so they may get into some of those. Depending on
at those parties, they'll be able to meet people, or maybe get a time limit that they can sit and talk. Or
Yeah, so I think that the key thing is that we've all been fans of shows and movies, right? So if we have the possibility of having a piece of that, it's a memory that goes on forever, right? I've done it. I put $500 into a film that was being funded by Zach Braff, the actor from Scrubs, I think it's a TV series. And he wanted to do a film his way. He couldn't get the financiers on board, so he put some money of his own and he went into a Kickstarter. As Super Studios, we're trying to also change something, which is the mindset of fix it tomorrow, rather fix it sooner. We're going to have, our software is going to take on the existing Hollywood software and have agency on top of it to synchronize it. So it's not separate components, the script writing over here, the breakdown, the scheduling, digitizing, the editing, the color, all of that stuff is spread out into different components. We're trying to bring it together so that there is a way to predict the problem sooner. So as usually production has a day or two or even a week sometimes latency of reality before everything that happened today gets tabulated into the budget and the actualization, because as you have is estimate, production, actualize, and finals, right? You'll be
The more we move to blockchain for that type of stuff, you'll be able to print up your report as soon as you want it, as it happens.
over as it happens. So tech is really important. If it can be with software modification to blockchains, and you're able to get today what's happened today as it happens, as opposed to you gotta wait for someone tomorrow to input it. By the end of the day, now I'm 2 days out, and I don't know what, because that might. The fact in production is that you have to modify tomorrow and the next day and next week as you go. No longer available, too expensive, we lost this, we have to switch this, it's gonna rain, it's gonna snow, and all that affects everything. And the quicker you can react to the reality economically in the budget and in the breakdown schedule, the quicker you can pivot and make decisions, because it is still very divided. So
That's something we'll be able to accomplish with your Super Studio USD stablecoin.
all different people doing different things. Yeah. This would be great, because this will give us the capability and also then something we can share, right? This is something that we can share with others. So it benefits the community, it benefits the studio, and it keeps the ball rolling.
So this will be an overnight success, 10 years in the making, and that's how it works, all overnight. And there will be exponential returns when we get this stuff implemented. So it'll be great. Everyone will say, "Wow, look at that!" Just like you should. Right, exponential returns. So.
All right. Well, I want to thank both of you, Angel and Richard, for joining us here on one of our first Black Clouds podcasts. Thank you.